Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Right now, this program is a live broadcast of a planetary puja based on the chart of now for July 21st, 2022, using the location of Florida, where I am at the moment, and the time Shaktis that are active in this area at the moment. Honoring the planets is something that, and the stars and the archetypes that rule them, is something that helps open up their positive blessings to flow into us, into our lives, and into our world. This puja is kind of advanced puja, to be honest, taught to me and Raja, Meena Malloy's brother, many years ago. And it's based on a puja that he saw done by some Vedic astrologers from the state of Kerala in India, who specialized in Ashtamangala astrology, a very complex form of astrology with tremendous predictive abilities. So he liked the puja they did. He created a modified form of that for me and Raja to do. And I have been asked to share that over this channel. And I'm doing that right now, Monday through Friday. And I'm very happy to be doing that. My name is Swamini Valli, and I'm a Pillai Center teacher and an AstroVed astrologer. And it's my pleasure to be doing these little calls. All the planets and the stars and the archetypes, they all are more than just a physical object in space. They all have a divine being of light associated with them as well. So we're invoking that divine being as we do the puja. Dr. Pillai has said the names of all of these beings and all of the time Shaktis is a kind of a mantra, a sacred sound. And just saying these sounds or even listening to these sounds, excuse me, for example, maybe you're driving in the car to work and you just listen to this on audio, or you're doing a household chore and you have it on in the background, that's fine, because just listening to these sounds also is a blessing in and of itself. So that's what we're up to with the puja. And the puja right now is based on the chart of now. This is the South Indian style chart. In a description area below the below the video, excuse me, there is a link for a tutorial video on the South Indian style chart, and you're welcome to watch that later if you want to understand more about the layout of the South Indian style chart. This is a chart where all of these little 12 boxes represent a particular zodiac sign. And today, the ascendant, the sign coming up on the eastern horizon, is Leo. Over here, we have Libra, which has Ketu in it. Over here, this is Capricorn, which has Pluto retrograde and Saturn retrograde. Up here, this is Pisces, which has Neptune retrograde and Jupiter. And this is Aries, which today has Moon, Mars, Uranus, and Rahu. And all 4 of these planets today are in the same star, which is an unusual configuration and a kind of special energy for today. Over here is Gemini with Venus, and this is Cancer that has the Sun and Mercury in it. So those are the layout of the planets that we'll be working with today as we do the puja. We're also going to work with the star that each planet is in, the archetype that rules that star, the planet that rules that star, and the planet that rules the sign that has a planet in it. So we'll be doing that. I have on a side table a blackboard, and in chalk, I've drawn the South Indian style chart, and that's what I'm using doing the puja. Dr. Pillai had directed me and Raja to use blackboards. If you want to use a whiteboard or a piece of paper at home, or if you just want to have a little saucer and put your flower petals there, that's fine. I'm putting my flower petals on top of the blackboard, on top of the chart, on top of the planet that I'm invoking, or if he's in a star, I'm putting it on top of him because he's in the star, and so on. In addition to a bowl of flower petals, I have a lit ghee lamp, a lit tea light candle for me. I have a bowl, a little container of water. I have a bell, and I have a hand fan. Some of you could use an incense stick, but I have a housemate who's very sensitive to scent. So I'm using a little hand fan out of respect for sharing space with her. Now, I see today, this morning, when I came into the channel, that Ronnie or Donna, our channel manager for Religion of Religions channel, has created an adjustment so that if you want to share something in the chat, you do need to be someone who has subscribed to the channel. I think that's just to kind of cut down on spam, etc. in some of the programs. So that's, I think, why she did that. So if you want to chat, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Okay, we're going to get started now. Thank you for being here. I start with first taking a little container of water, putting my little, with my right hand, my little ring finger into the water, and splashing a few drops of water on each side of the blackboard, creating a sacred space for the puja. I put a drop of water, a few drops of water on top of my head to purify me. And I'm tossing a few drops of water out into space to purify all of you, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the recording later, so that all of us are conducting this puja in a sacred space. The next thing is we start most of the Vedic rituals, we start them with an invocation to Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles. So we honor him. And I like doing that because it brings the God thought in right at the beginning of something we're doing. We'll invoke him with the mantra Om Sring Gung, SRING GUNG. Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles for all of us in participating in this puja. And we thank him for his help with this. Next, we do a short Tamil chant asking all of the 9 planets to be beneficial towards us. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atyar Avarkum Mikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atyar Avarkumikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atyar Avarkumikave. We ask all of the planets and the archetypes and the stars that we're invoking today to be beneficial towards us. We thank Saint Gnanasamundar for creating this chant, and we also are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now we're going to honor some of the time Shaktis that are active right now in my area. Right now, where I am, the day is Thursday, which is ruled by Jupiter. I'm going to honor Jupiter, and I'm going to put flower petals on top of him. Flowers have tremendous purity. The reason we use them in rituals, and they're used in rituals in many traditions, is they bring that energy of purity into what we're doing. And they help transmit the sounds of the mantras that we're doing as we use the flower petals right into the causal plane, or where our Akashic records are stored. And it's like they're updating our karmic records real time as we work with them. So we're invoking Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him because he's the one ruling today, Thursday. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Next, we honor the star that the moon is in. At the moment, the moon is in a star called Barney. That's the nakshatra for today. And we honor this star, and I put the flower petals on top of the moon because he's the one in the star. Om Barniye Namaha. Om Barniye Namaha. Om Barniye Namaha. Next, we invoke the Tithi, or the moon phase. At the moment, we're in a 9th waning moon called Navami in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said for invoking the moon phase, we would use the Sanskrit name of that phase plus the word Devi, which invokes the light being associated with that moon phase. Om Navami Devi Namaha. Om Navami Devi Namaha. Om Navami Devi Namaha. Next, we invoke the planet that rules the hour. Right now, the hour in the area where I am in Florida is being ruled by Venus. So we honor Venus for being the planet of the Hora right now. And I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Next, we're going to honor the time elements of the yoga and the karana. Dr. Pillai said for these time elements, we would just say their name 3 times. We wouldn't offer flower petals for them. The yoga right now in this area is one called Sula, which has energies of confrontational types of energies. Sula, Sula, Sula. And the karana right now is Taitila, which has energies of staying steady. Taitula, Taitula, Taitula. So now that we've invoked the active time Shaktis, we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. At the moment in my area, the ascendant, represented here with the letters AC, is in the sign of Leo. Dr. Pillai said we start with invoking the planet that rules the ascendant sign, which is the sign coming up on the eastern horizon right now in this location. Leo is ruled by the sun. So I'm going to invoke the sun and put flower petals on top of him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we go in a clockwise direction from the ascendant sign till we come to the first sign that has a planet in it, which here is Tula or Libra, which today contains Ketu. We honor Ketu, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Right now, Ketu is in the star Vishaka, a star that has competitive energies that helps motivate us to want to win, be victorious, successful. We honor this star, and I put flower petals on top of Ketu. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Next, we honor the archetypes that rule Vishaka. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra helps us with blessings for leadership and courage. And Agni, the archetype of fire, he helps with transformational change and also with purification. We invoke this pair. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Now we invoke the planet that rules Tula or Libra, which is Venus. We invoke Venus, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a sign with energies of balance and harmony. Today containing Ketu, the saintly planet that helps us to have longing for liberation. We pause for a moment and reflect. The next Rasier sign with the planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto retrograde and also Saturn retrograde. When a planet is retrograde, he's considered to be extra powerful. We invoke Pluto, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Today, Pluto is in the star called Uttarashada. This is a star that can give blessings of long-lasting success. We honor this star. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Vasus. These are beings of light that represent 10 divine universal principles. We honor all 10 of these light beings. Om Visvatevasye Namaha. Om Visvatevasye Namaha. Om Visvatevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Next, we honor Saturn, who is retrograde in Capricorn. We invoke him, and I put flower petals on top of Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Right now, Saturn retrograde is in the star of Dhanishta, a star of wealth, prosperity, desire for good reputation, and also a star of music. We honor this star. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta's star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, archetypes who rule various spheres of existence. We invoke them. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Dhanishta's star is ruled by the planet Mars. We invoke Mars, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Makara or Capricorn, which is Saturn. Again, we honor Saturn and put flower petals on top of him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign of ancient past life skills and abilities, today containing Pluto, a planet that Dr. Pillai says helps with rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that can help us with patience, discipline, organization. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Mina or Pisces, which today contains Neptune, retrograde, and Jupiter. We start with invoking Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Right now, Neptune is in the star of Purva Bhadrapada, a star with the fire of Kundalini, a star that helps with transformational change and purification. We honor this star. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by the archetype Aja Ekapada, a one-footed archetype who can give us blessings for experiencing silence and forgiveness. We honor this archetype. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Next, we honor Jupiter for being in Mina or Pisces. So now we invoke him for being present there. And I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter right now is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. Dr. Pillai says this is a star that can help us with business development. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on top of Jupiter. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on top of Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Mina or Pisces, which is Jupiter. Again, we honor Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Mina or Pisces, the zodiac sign that has the most metaphysical and transcendental energies, today containing Neptune, a planet that helps with our intuition and our ability to understand our inner self, and Jupiter, planet that helps us with spiritual teachings and our relationship with our spiritual teachers and spiritual community. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains Moon, Mars, Uranus, and Rahu. And an interesting thing for today is all four of them are in the same star. We start with first invoking the moon, then we'll invoke the other three planets before we invoke the star, because they're all in that one star. We start with the moon, our mind and our emotions. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Next, we honor Mars, warrior healer planet. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Next, we honor Rahu, a planet that can help us with new technologies. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. We also honor Uranus, a planet that helps with intelligence and innovation. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. All four of these planets, Moon, Mars, Uranus, and Rahu, are all in a star called Bharani. This is a star symbolized as the yoni, the private female parts. And this is a star with a tremendous amount of divine feminine energy or Shakti or power. So we have four planets in this very powerful feminine energy sign today. We invoke, not sign, star, feminine energy star. We invoke Bharani star. Om Bharniye Namaha. Om Bharniye Namaha. Om Bharniye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Yama, who is an archetype of justice. He's also an archetype of death, and he helps rule the realms that our ancestors are in, those realms of light. We invoke Yama. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Venus. We honor Venus, and I put flower petals on top of Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Misha or Aries, which is Mars. We honor Mars, and I put flower petals on top of Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a powerful fire sign and a sign with very active energies. Today containing the moon, which is our mind and our emotions. Mars, which is a planet that helps us with feeling competitive, wanting to be active. He's a warrior healer planet. He's also the planet that helps with things like law enforcement, firefighters, all those who are doing things to help protect and serve us. Uranus, planet that helps us with high intelligence, innovation, success in life, and also a planet that helps with astrology. And Rahu, planet that helps us to think outside the box and helps us learn to make friends with new technologies. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Mithuna or Gemini, which today contains Venus. Gemini is a sign with a lot of different kinds of energies. In the Vedic, the symbol for him is a man who's carrying a club, which is a very aggressive form of masculinity. A club doesn't take any finesse as a weapon. It's not like a bow and arrow or a sword we have to practice. A club, you just kind of pick it up and go bam, bam, bam. And the other symbol is a woman with a lute or a very refined musical instrument. So it's the kind of the most elegant, refined aspect of the feminine energies. So it's a sign containing all of that, this great range of energies. Today, Venus is sitting here, planet of love, passion, but also among the planets, a nurse and also a diplomat. Venus has healing energies and also energies to help us to be polite and courteous. We honor Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus today is in the star called Ardra. This is a star symbolized as a teardrop of compassion. This is the birth star of Mohini, the director of Dr. Pillai's charitable foundation, Tripura Foundation. I always think she's a perfect representative of that teardrop of compassion in the work that she does, Ardra star. We invoke this star. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Ardra star is ruled by a form of Shiva called Rudra. Rudra is like a special form of Shiva that specializes in destroying negative energies. We invoke this powerful form of Shiva. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Ardra star is ruled by Rahu. We honor Rahu and we put flower petals on top of Rahu. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Next, we honor the planet that rules Mithuna or Gemini, which is Mercury. We put flower petals on top of him as I chant for him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Mithuna or Gemini, a sign with a tremendous range of energies, today containing Venus, planet of passion, love, happiness, and a planet that helps us to enjoy material plane comforts. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Karkata or Cancer, which today contains the Sun and Mercury. Cancer is represented by the crab. And the crab doesn't go too far into the water or too far up into the sand. So Cancer is considered to be the sign that is the most emotionally sensitive of all the signs. Today, he contains the Sun. We honor the Sun, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. The Sun and Mercury are both in the same star. So I'm going to invoke Mercury before I invoke this star. We invoke Mercury, planet of communication, and also among the planets, the merchant planet. He's in charge of all forms of buying and selling. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Both the Sun and Mercury are in the star called Pooja, a star symbolized as a cow's udder, representing the energy of nourishment. Pusha is considered to be the most spiritually auspicious of all of the stars. And today the sun and Mercury are in this star. We honor Pusha, and I put the flower petals across both sun and Mercury. Om Pushaye Namaha. Om Pushaye Namaha. Om Pushaye Namaha. Pusha's star is ruled by Brihaspati, a special form of Jupiter in which he is celebrated as a teacher. He's such an excellent teacher, he's even considered the teacher of the gods of some of the archetypes. We invoke him. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Pusha's star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Karkata or Cancer, which is the moon. We honor the moon, and I put flower petals on top of the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Karkata or Cancer, the sign that is very emotionally sensitive and a very feminine energy sign, a water sign. Today containing the sun, who represents our soul, and Mercury. Among the planet, the sun is considered to be like the king. So right now, Karkata ruled by the moon, which is kind of the queen. It's like the sun is visiting the queen's apartment. And we also have Mercury here, planet of communication. Also the planet of electronics and everything related to do with computers. We pause for a moment and reflect on all of this. Now I'm going to take a lit tea light and I'm going to offer the element of light to all of the divine beings that we have just invoked. I'm going to pass the tea light over above the chalkboard that has all the little flower petals on it 3 times in a clockwise direction around the chart, offering the element of light to all of these divine beings. Now I'm going to take a little fan because I have a housemate who is sensitive to scent. So some of you could use a lit incense stick if you like for this step. I'm just waving a little fan above the chalkboard chart and the flower petals, offering the element of a cooling air to all of these divine beings. If you're offering incense, you're also offering a sweet scent. And next, I'm going to take a little bell and ring that 3 times in a clockwise direction above the blackboard and the flower petals and the chart in a clockwise direction, offering the element of sound. We make a sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them for their positive blessings, for these positive blessings to flow into our lives, into our families, into our friends, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our schools, our communities, our countries, and indeed the entire planet. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to healthcare, good education, sustainable jobs, and may everyone on this planet have love in their life now and always. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your prayers in silence for about a minute, and then I'll do some Q&A. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment. Peace, peace, peace. May we all experience peace today and in our evening as well. And we thank all these divine beings and Dr. Pillai for their blessings. Now I can take a little bit of Q&A. I don't know if Barbara is here today. Yesterday, she asked me what planet rules teeth. And I explained I'm not really a medical astrologer. And I wanted to verify with that. In the back of my mind, I was thinking Saturn, but I wanted to double check that before I said anything. So Saturn is very much associated with teeth, but also when I was looking it up, I saw that calcium is really important for teeth. And the two planets associated with fire, the fire energy that goes into calcium, Sun and Mars also have some association with teeth. So if you're dealing with a tooth issue, Saturn would be important, but also you could look at Sun and Mars. Teeth are very important to take care of. All the energy meridians of the body, if you look at those, Chinese acupuncture charts, all the meridians go through the head. So they're going through the mouth, they're going through that area where we have our teeth. So if you're having an issue with teeth, it can also, the energy of that, or the toxicity of that, can also affect things in other parts of your body. So it's very important to take care of your teeth, train your children to take care of your teeth, etc. So that's our little word about teeth for today, I guess, our public service announcement. So I don't know if Barbara is here, but I noticed that Ronnie has changed a setting on our channel so that you need to be a subscriber if you want to post in the chat. So I think that's to help cut down on spam and inappropriate things like that in some of the programs. So I see people thanking me for the little stories around the planets, the little added extra information. I could give a bit more information today. Tomorrow on Friday, we have another program on the channel that will start right after our program. So on Fridays, I have to be very concise, but I thought today I could do a little bit more what Dr. Pillai calls blah, blah, about the planets and stars as we went along. Okay, so I'm glad that was helpful for you. Rara says that she loves singing along with us. Oh, thank you for that. Whether you're participating with doing the chart or doing the petals or just listening to it in the background while you do other things, it's all good, however you participate in the puja. And I very much appreciate your support, your participation, whether through watching it live or through watching it later on a replay. Okay, not really seeing questions today. That's fine. I'm not trying to teach astrology per se through this. We're just trying to honor the planets, the stars, the archetypes that rule those stars. And again, in the very ancient Vedic text, the first thing that gets mentioned is the sun, the moon, and the stars. The other planets don't get mentioned until later. So that the stars are very important to the ancients. Now, I have read somewhere, our pineal gland right now in our modern age, it's about the size of maybe like a little raisin, our pineal gland. The pineal gland helps with, opening our third eye, our ability to see into other dimensions. But the sages of ancient times, I've read, their pineal gland was like the size of a lemon. And I'm like, oh, that's how they could travel into these other dimensions and experience the energy of the stars. They would have been operating on a whole different level of consciousness. So I thought that was kind of interesting. A pineal gland the size of a lemon is how they were able to experience that. Okay. When I was first learning the stars, I did have a day one time at work where all of a sudden I was out in space looking at a star from a completely different vantage point than Earth. And I realized the energies of that star from that direction were very different. And it was really a cool experience to see that. But also inwardly, I had to say to Babaji, I'm at work right now. I can't handle traveling like this while I'm supposed to be doing my job. So he shut that down. So I wasn't traveling like that anymore. Someone is asking for the text of the Seku Ilium. You sing it so special. Are you talking, Van, are you talking about the Tamil chant? Is that what you're asking about? Because the Tamil chant, if you're asking about the Tamil chant, let me do a quick copy and paste here. The Tamil chant, if you're asking about that, it's here. And we're just doing like a little stanza of it. And if you go to that link, you can find a link into the Pillai Center store to purchase the audio of the entire chant. It's a beautiful meditation, and Dr. Pillai translates it as he goes along. So it's a half-hour meditation audio, and he just gave this just a few lines for chanting at the beginning of our puja. But it's a special chant that was created by Saint Yanis Samundar, a saint who was enlightened at a very early age, and he was traveling one day to go from one temple to another, and the priests were telling him, oh, no, it's not an astrologically good day to travel. And he goes, I don't accept that. He created this hymn to make all the planets beneficial to him so he could set off on his journey. So it's a beautiful, beautiful chant. I'm hoping that was the chant you were asking for. Van, the other chant that I do at the beginning is Om Sring Gung, which is the chant for invoking Ganesha. So those are the two chants. I put the link for one of them, and the chant for the other one is right there in the text, that. Okay, Barbara is here. Great. I'm happy that you got the information about teeth. Wonderful. Yes, Marie, the puja does take us to interesting and deep places. And the fact that we're doing it as a group also creates a higher kind of unity consciousness for us. And I think doing it as a group, it creates a group energy that also takes all of us deeper as well. So I really appreciate those of you that, show up to watch it, participate, however you do, because it does add a greater degree of consciousness for all of us. So yes, please do hit the like button if you can. And please do subscribe to the channel. Dr. Pillai seriously wants this channel to continue to grow. His vision is that someday we'll have programs on this channel 24/7. So that's his idea. What he wants for this channel is something happening all the time that has his blessings and energies going through it. So I'm going to close off for today. Thank you for being here. Love to all of you. Blessings to all of you. And again, we'll be here tomorrow I'm doing it Monday through Friday right now. And thank you. Love to everyone. Namaste.